Yo guys, so apparently at Cern they're opening portals in another dimension to invite demonic entities into our world. Like that's so around the street. Like let's check this out.
Recently, an entity came through it. Before we get into those stories, we'll look at a few other recent mentions of portals in the news, and we'll end this off with what the Bible has to say about portals, other dimensions, and the bottomless pit. Isn't it weird that portals and other dimensions are now part of common conversations? It really feels like the spiritual war and the different aspects surrounding it are becoming more visible to a lot of people. It also appears the government is well aware of these supernatural phenomena.
Like God's not going to stop creating just with us. But the more I look into this, the more I see the Old Testament and what was told to us there of fallen angels and Nephilim. I mean, this is in the Bible. There's nothing that says that fallen angels, that Nephilim just disappeared. And so I believe that this could be an aspect of it. You know, there are things that we have seen that could resemble portals. And, you know, I mean, we serve an infinite God, a God of the universe. And to say that this is the only realm is ignorant. And so what I've seen, I wouldn't, you know, put it as, you know, Marvin the Martian.
Holy yeah, bro. Can we just get to the point? I hate when women speaking.
Information with everyone? I don't either. They are aware of these, and they probably even are trying to figure out how to weaponize them. It's rumored that there's even some within the United States in our national forests.
But just one thing I want to throw out here, and I want to cause a bit of mischief with the US government.
Bro, this guy looks like an alien from another dimension. This guy looks this guy looks like he walked out of the portal. This guy looks from outer space, bro. Like
I've just been somewhere in the United States where I know there is another portal. And I know
look at this dude, bro. Bro, this dude came out of the portal, bro. He came out of the Hadron Collider, bro. This dude came out of the portal 100%. This dude is the alien itself.
The United States knows about it. And I was there just the other day. And guess what? It's got a big fence around it, lots of security signs. It's supposedly US Forest Service. But you know what? It's not. And it's supposedly ancient ruins of tribal art. And you know what? It's not. What's happening is that the United States is using the US Forest Service and claims of the protection of archaeological relics to keep secret from the public a portal on US soil.
This next video you can watch and judge for yourself if you think it's genuine. The person who reposted this on X said, "What is these in the woods? Is this one of the portals that could explain the missing 411 conspiracy?"
I don't know. How do we get over there?
I've never seen anything so weird.
I don't know what it is.
My phone will not pick it up. Oh, there we go. What is that? It's got to be someone's truck, right?
No, bro, it's like
I'm seeing reds and greens.
purple.
Yeah, purples. But it's going up and down. Oh my God, look at the reds in there. Is that a fire? What was that?
Like scanning.
Bro, only United States you find something like this. We were walking on fucking woods. You see things like this. Why can't we get that? We're in India. Why can't we see anything like that anymore? Like, it's kind of crazy. Only they get to see extraterrestrial phenomena and all this shit.
What is going on?
Somebody either has like a laser machine out there. Did it stop?
No.
Bro, I don't know what.
This reference to portals, the veil thinning, and openings to other dimensions has always made me think of the work of David Paulides with Missing 411. Maybe there is some sort of connection here with what people are calling portals, openings to other realms, and the people who are going missing in national forests.
If you think about the work that's been done by others before me, there's really no other scientifically supportive theory except that. Because NASA has advised that portals are real. They have a group of 8 physicists that work for NASA, and they get together every month and they talk about portals. And one of those scientists has talked to me and said, Dave, it's not a question if portals exist. We're actually talking about portals and how to use them offensively in battle. The same way, he told me one day, he goes, Dave, I think that some of the people you've talked about in your Missing 411 are taken by way of portals, because nobody ever sees it happening, but you turn your head and then all of a sudden they're gone. And he says, I think that we have to understand how to manipulate that portal for us offensively.
We'll get to the CERN insider, the Sam Altman reference, and then the biblical connections to this phenomenon after this next reference that was recently in the news about another portal.
Top FEMA official is going viral after he claimed he once teleported to a Waffle House right here in Georgia. Yes, he really did say that. He says somehow he...
Yeah. I don't bite. Out of all places, a Waffle House.
Traveled about 50 miles instantly and just showed up there. At least he went to the Waffle House. There's worse places. The claim comes from an old podcast that's now making the rounds again, and he's still doubling down on those comments, standing by them. Officials say the comments were personal and not related to his job.
We had a teleport incident, 2 of them. The car lifted up and took me where I was going. And I ended up at a Waffle House like 50 miles away.
Bro, can someone teleport me to the Waffle House? Like, I'm available. CIA, anyone that's hearing me, CERN, like, I'm available. Teleport.
From where I was. It was an incredibly frightening moment to experience yourself in your car flying through the air.
Using and abusing substances or alcohol is bad, and I don't support it at all. And that was the first thing that came to my mind when I heard this story, because there's been a lot of people who have teleported to a Waffle House, but what actually happened is they just fell asleep in the car on the drive there. Dr. Astrid Stackelberger is a scientist and a
Yeah, she's been going around different podcasts, like,
researcher and teacher for 25 years at the Faculty of Medicine of the University of Geneva in Switzerland. She worked closely with a lot of people at CERN. She's being referenced as a CERN insider, and she had some incredible things to say about other dimensions, portals, and an entity that actually came through a portal they created.
I always wonder, what are they even doing with the Hadron Collider? Like, I heard they talking about opening black holes and shit. Like, what did they even do, bro? Like, just, like, put particles together, like, make particles collide with each other so I can blow black holes. Like, what do they even fucking do? Like, what's the research about? If it's about opening dimensions to make contact with demonic entities, that makes sense. Like,
they had changed something in the reality. They are disclosing that they are doing all this type of research on wormholes, black holes, change of time and space, officially.
This director of CERN says that the Titanic machine may possibly create or discover previously unimagined scientific phenomenon or unknown unknowns. For instance, an extra dimension. Out of this door might come something, or we might send something through it. There would be an open door, but that even with the power of the LHC at his disposal, he would only be able to hold it open a very tiny lapse of time, 10 to 26 seconds. But during that infinitesimal amount of time, we will be able to peer into this open door, either by getting something out of it or sending something into it. Of course, adds Bertolucci, after this tiny moment, the door would again shut, bringing us back to our normal, 4-dimensional world.
Those who are working in advanced theoretical physics, especially string theory and its extension M theory, are theorizing that the possibility of more dimensions outside of 4 does exist. With string theory, it says that the possibility of up to 10 dimensions could exist, and then with M theory, it adds an extra 11th dimension. But take a listen to what Dr. Astrid had to say about the possibility of even more dimensions than that.
She invited me to see everybody and put me at the table of 2 physicists from the CERN, one in Geneva, one in Portugal, because there are many other mini CERNs, it's not just Geneva. I said, so how many dimensions officially are living in the CERN? They both said 17. very affirmatively.
The next thing that she had to say about entities is absolutely the most mind-blowing. We'll look at two a little later when we look at the biblical aspect of these theories, of what Tom Horn and Gary Stearman had to say about men who have, since the beginning of time, been trying to contact the gods through different means, because there is certainly a spiritual aspect to all of this.
There's a door, open, a round door, you know, like in the Stargate. And I don't know if it's as big. There is one picture that the person is quite small, actually, on it. You can go and look for those interested. Go and type Cern portal LHC door, and you will see. So in front of the door, they have a room. They probably have many doors, but they have a room.
Wait, what?
And they sit around the table, and I said, so yeah, what happened? He said, well, an entity came from this portal, and like
What?
it sat at the table. I was like, but how is this entity? What do you mean entity? Is it a person? Is it an alien?
This thing?
What color are they like us? And they couldn't answer anything. They said, no, it's not. We know. We just know it at Cern, and they cannot describe it, but they have it secondhand. It's not third, fourth. It's a very good friend who knows.
That's very.
Okay, I have to find something more because that's not enough.
Even she knows it's not enough. I mean, she is a scientist, you know.
Can you proof? And is there a proof that they bring that they give something? There's some document, and they said that this entity the second time took a scarf and left a scarf. I said, what type of scarf? And they don't know. They're not into the detail. They were really into the event and not the detail. And this entity left again. So that's the short scoop that started me trying to look for that.
This was a very strange video that was posted in April. A former employee at OpenAI,
Yeah, Sam Walton came to a dimension. Like, we can agree that he's the demon himself.
talking about Sam Altman,
ChatGPT is fucking useful. Like,
and how he's building portals to summon aliens using artificial intelligence.
This kind of AI capacity is shaping the balance of power between nations and all of our security. One former OpenAI executive said, quote, "We're building portals from which we're genuinely summoning aliens. The portals currently exist in the United States and China, and Sam has added one in the Middle East. It's just like wildly important to get how scary that should be."
OpenAI is one of the leading AI companies. Now,
wait, we're building, and it's kind of scary. Like, what the fuck? Oh, okay.
It's just like wildly important to
creating portals, summoning aliens. Maybe that's why we're seeing this big boom with the AI data centers around the United States and around the world.
How big is the new data center campus they're building in the Texas Panhandle?
I don't think data centers are for like opening portals and shit. I think it's just for my surveillance, bro.
It's the biggest one in the world. It will use as much power as all of the homes in the entire state of Texas combined, times 2. It will use more power than 38 states. Not combined, but it will use more power than all of the power used in any one of 38 different states. The data center campus portion of it is, I believe, 18 million square feet. It will sit on a piece of ground that is 5 square miles. So you can drive by it for 5 miles, make a right turn and drive by it for another 5 miles. That's pretty big. You know what the wild part is? The company building it has no knowledge of data centers. Nope, not in the data center business. Project Matador.
When it comes to all of these people who are trying to open portals and creating breaks between our dimension and other dimensions, that is a real thing, and that's been going on for a very long time. Here we'll see Tom Horn and Gary Stearman talking about this on Prophecy Watchers the portal.
The 17-mile-long particle collider, what does it do? It accelerates protons to almost the speed of light. And then using magnets, it squeezes the pathway. They're going in both directions, squeezes the pathway down to about the size of a human hair. And then literally trillions of these protons crash into each other and they burst apart into their subatomic parts, right?
Yes.
And they have cameras that are fixed inside of the Large Hadron Collider taking pictures of that moment. Now, what they think they have saw is certain particles that they think make up gravity. Gravity is made out of gravitons, they believe. That's the theory. But gravitons in string theory are not bound to the Earth. They're a weak particle that can escape into parallel realities. Specifically, that is like the number one thing they are looking for, and why Sergio Bertolucci said, we're going to send something through to a parallel universe. What was he talking about? Well, gravitons, they believe they have filmed them literally moving away somewhere. You know, matter doesn't just go away.
Yeah.
It decays into another particle. It becomes something else. It doesn't just...
Yeah, I don't believe in parallel dimension. I think there's astral dimensions, like, person this thing as parallel dimension.
disappear. But they think they have filmed gravitons literally disappearing, going into a parallel reality. Now, you can watch a video that was made by... I can't think of his first name. His last name is Green, but people can go out and they can Google this and find it. They made a documentary a while back in which one of the physicists is saying, if gravitons are escaping into a parallel world, then once we learn how to control gravitons, how to control their spin or whatever, we can put them together like in a binary code. We can put them together in a stringed message, and we'll be able to send a message through into that parallel reality saying, we're here, come and visit us. And that's what he meant when he said, we're going to send something through and something may come back. This is a reply being sent back from a parallel reality. So they literally are trying to make contact with those that they believe exist on the other side of a dimensional veil.
Sort of a hyper-technical method of sorcery, or of mediumship, if you will, trying to move into the realm of a spirit world, as we would think of it ordinarily, except they're using mechanical and electronic means to do this.
Right, but see, we don't really know, like, people have asked me in the past, you know, what about the Tower of Babel?
Yeah.
You know, so Nimrod, you know, this Gibborim of the old world, right? This mighty hunter. He says, I'm going to build a tower whose top will reach into, it will penetrate this dimensional veil. It'll reach into heaven.
If we actually think about it, like, what was Nimrod actually trying to do? Like, build a tower long enough? If, for those conspiracy guys, we know ball, like, we know what the actual fuck is going on. We cannot say it on YouTube, but, like, Nimrod's building his tower, like Tower of Babel, like, it's like, why did God trying to, you know, destroy Tower of Babel? We have towers high enough. Like, for all conspiracy guys, you know what I'm talking about.
And God looks down and says they will accomplish what they had intended to do. One of the best articles I ever read some while back was written by this fabulous scholar by the name of Gary Stearman, in which he was talking about, you know, what was that effort? What were they trying to do there?
Yeah.
This was like a high level of angelic technology, right? They're trying to build a device, a contraption of some kind that will somehow allow them to peer into or walk into Shamayim, the dwelling place of the watcher angels, the dwelling place of God.
And I believe that with all my heart. A fine reading of the Bible illustrates that there's always a group of men who are trying.
If you actually believe in the Tower of Babel, if you actually believe in outer space, the story of Tower of Babel doesn't make sense to you. If you believe in outer space and shit, the story of Tower of Babel will not make sense to you. That's what I'm saying. You can't say it on YouTube.
The contact, in the illegal sense, trying to make contact with the gods. And here we have a couple of names, Abaddon, Apollyon, and then Shiva, the god of destruction. All of these three gods appear
which is in front of the Cern Institute.
Me to be the same god,
right?
The god of destruction. And the idea being that you destroy this world, and out of the world, the destruction.
Oh, wait a minute. I'll show you something. This is like, they're doing like a demonic ritual in front of like Cern. Like, this is pretty interesting. This is the Shiva statue in front of Cern and Skew. Like, they're actually doing a demonic ritual. I'm not even joking.
What the fuck?
If you're someone actually watching from distance, what the fuck is actually going on? And you know what they say? They think they thought this was actually a prank done by someone who works there. It's just like a prank, like, really, bro, like a prank. Right, I'll dress him up with a satanic ritual. This is actually a prank. Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. That's the explanation you want? If you're doing a prank, like, why? This is what I tell you, the elites are doing shit like this like every time, like, and people don't believe in spiritual things. People never like believe in metaphysical things whatsoever, but they're doing shit like this, bro. Like, they're not doing this for like aesthetic like purposes. And it's definitely not a prank. They're doing this for because they sell their soul eventually. And if you look deeper into what this institute actually does, it's kind of crazy.
What the?
Totally normal prank, nothing to actually worry about.
Fuck! Shit! Fuck! Shit!
What does nigga actually worry about? Like, okay, buddy. Yeah, we gonna should also watch this one. This is the
Possibly
inside of it they talk about. Like, let's watch some of this.
create or discover on 8th of April for the eclipse previously unimagined scientific phenomenon or unknown unknowns. Oh, an entity came out. Okay.
But I know I don't actually like believe or whatsoever. But because she's been doing rounds in different podcasts, like, and someone's that pushed out the mainstream, like, you should always use a skeptical eye.
From this portal, I said, okay, I have to find something more because that's not enough. So I said, can you proof? And is there a proof that they bring that they give something? There's some document, and they said that this entity the second time took a scarf, put me at the table of two physicists from the Cern, one in Geneva, one in Portugal, because there are many other mini Cerns. It's not just Geneva. and I sat at their table, and I was like so happy not to be in a boring table. There's nothing worse than to be at a great party and sitting at a table where you don't have the same vibes and conversation. So I was in the middle of the two, and I kept on as much as I could, because we were 8 at the table, talking about what intrigued me. And I really asked them, to make it short, the two questions that really intrigued me was, what are you doing special there? And how many dimensions? This has intrigued me. I have still not to this day found a real definition of reality that has the same criteria. So I think it is Matsuru, his name. Yeah, he says there are 8 or 9. Yeah. Anyway, I said, so how many dimensions officially are living in
The dimensions probably related to the astral realm.
the Cern? And they both said 17, very affirmatively. And I said, well, can you give me a document or refer to me, please? I'm taking the pen. I want to write it down. I'm a researcher. I need to check. I would like to know that. It's so important. And they said, oh, no, we don't know, but we know it's 17. Wow. And I couldn't believe it. I said, how come they don't know? Okay, so I dig then a little bit more and I said, but you have an experiment? Can you describe something from another dimension? And they were searching in their brain, and I said, well, can you something the most extraordinary that you have heard about? Because I wanted to have a result. and they said, well, yes, there is something. And then they started talking about the Cern portal. There's a portal for the LHC. There's a door, a round door, like in the Stargate. And I don't know if it's as big. There is one picture that the person is quite small, actually, on it. You can go and look for those interested. Go and type Cern portal LHC door, and you will see. So in front of the door, they have a room. They probably have many doors, but they have a room, and they sit around the table. And I said, so yeah, what happened? He said, well, an entity came from this portal, and like it sat at the table. And I was like, but how is this what do you mean entity? Is it a person? Is it an alien? What color? Are they like us? And they couldn't answer anything. They said, no, it's not. We know. We just know it at Cern. And they cannot describe it, but they have it secondhand. It's not third, fourth. It's a very good friend who knows. And so I said, okay, I have to find something more because that's not enough. So I said, can you proof? And is there a proof that they bring, that they give something? There's some document. And they said that this entity the second time took a scarf and left a scarf. I said, what type of scarf? And they don't know. They're not into the detail. They were really into the event and not the detail. And this entity left again. So that's the short scoop that started me trying to look for that. And so what I did is I went to look into the Cern
the scarf really couldn't come up with a better story.
Research then agenda, and I saw all those very strange names for everything, but especially around the eclipse that was announced on the 8th of April 23, if I remember. They said that they would start again the collider because they had stopped it in 2018. There had been a problem. So very strange, there was a problem. But they started it again, and I thought maybe there's something strange going on because we are in a war for me. We are in either it's still the World War II, either it's another war, but it's a war of another dimension. And I see that the director of research is the head of research is Bertolucci. It's his name, and this Bertolucci in his announcement, and I have printed it, 8th of April 24. It's 24. I've written it. This director of Cern is telling that he says, I read it because I don't think you can find it. It's like if you find it in the dark net, if you have to look for it. Okay, so top scientist at the Large Hadron Collider, LHC, says that the Titanic machine may possibly create or discover on 8th of April for the eclipse previously unimagined scientific phenomenon or unknown unknowns. For instance, an extra dimension. So that would be 18 then. So, and they quote Sergio Bertolucci, the head of research, who says, out of this door might come something, or we might send something through it. Please go. We need you.
Right.
And have you heard anything since?
And they are dealing with subatomic. suspicious because there are people who are in front of possibly create or discover on 8th of April for the eclipse. And at the end they say, wait, I have to find this because it's crazy. Open door, either by getting something out of it or sending something into it. Of course, adds Bertolucci, after this tiny moment, the door would again shut, bringing us back to our normal 4-dimensional world. It would be a major on a wormhole. Okay, I will do it for free. I just want to 20 years ago, and I brought us.
Yeah, but there's nothing actually interesting about that. So that's about it, bro. Like, see you guys. Subscribe. Hit the shit down subscribe button. Let's go.